Okay, so day two, let's look at some of the statistics that came from this. I'm going to read you off a little bit of what I found. Had to write it down. My memory's not all that great, but anyways, we're looking at 2012 estimations that came out. The data was from 1999 to 2011, and that's where they got this number of 22 veterans taking their own lives, which would make approximately every 65 minutes a veteran is committing suicide. The problem with the statistic is that it's a really low number, and it's a low number because they only use the data from 21 states, and they didn't include California, Texas, or Illinois, the top two and fifth largest state in the United States. So it only accounts for approximately 40% of the U.S. population. So when we think about the 22 veterans a day committing suicide, that number is probably way higher. The other one is 30% of all veterans have considered suicide, and it's something that you don't think about. They're not going to share that openly. They're not going to walk in and say, "Hey, mom, dad," or talk to a brother and sister and say, "Oh, last night I, almost did this." It's something they keep to themselves because unfortunately, as you are built up in the military, you kind of look at those types of things as a weakness, and so a lot of times I feel that they don't want to share because they feel it makes them look weak. So 30% have considered. For every 100,000 people, there's 30 veterans and 14 civilian suicides. That's the comparison. So every 100,000 we have 30 compared to the 14 civilians. 69% are 50 or older. So like I said yesterday, it's not always the younger generation. It can be the older veterans who are the majority, actually, according to the numbers. A survey of Afghan and Iraq vets showed that 30% of those veterans from that considered committing suicide, and 45% of them also said that they knew somebody from the Iraq or Afghanistan veterans who have attempted. So they knew somebody who has attempted. And again, the things, a lot of times I don't think that they're going to share. I think that when people think that's something they want to do, they're not going to share it too often. It's not something that they invite others into that to give them that information, and it's unfortunate. They don't think of it as, I'm going to try and find somebody to help me talk through it. It's looked at as a weakness of them, and instead of talking through it or finding a buddy to sit down with and find those people that truly love them and want to keep them around to be there for them. And they don't want to share it. They don't want people to know. They don't want to, look like they're weak in anybody's eyes. And so, therefore they get to the point where that's their option, or that's what they come to as the answer. So, so again, spreading awareness. There's some of the statistics. There's some of the numbers. Some of it I knew nothing about. So again, this is learning for myself. But also to spread some of that to everybody out there that watches these videos. I'll also throw in there that I threw some names out there, people that I'm challenging to do it as well. I don't expect to see videos recorded or things like that. Someday, maybe if you're in the area that I'm in here in California, we can get together and we can all do one of these together and see if we can't bust out some of these push-ups together. But if you could share the videos, just spread the word. I haven't had too many views on my video, which is okay, but one or two, and they spread it to one or two, and it'll get around. That's what we're looking for, just people to be aware. And remember, if you have somebody, family member, friend of a friend, whoever it may be, older people that are in your family, talk to them. Let them tell their story. Don't ask them about all the gory stuff. That's not what they want to talk about. And all that's going to do is bring back some of the demons that they don't want to think about. So just be there for them. Show them you love them. Be there, a shoulder to lean on, an ear to lend, listen. And yeah, that's about it. So I'm gonna go ahead and bust out my 22 for today and get this all done. Push up, Marine Corps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. One more for the court. All right, thanks for watching. Have a good evening.